Blog Talk Radio.
Following ingredients include a look behind the scenes. Cook uncovered until hot. Add grooves to taste.
I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl.
The accident was over a year ago. A second woman has been elected president. The 12th planet has been named in the solar system. The last wild polar bear has died. I slept through it all. I was here for my waking. He called it a beginning. He said it was good. I think he may have thought that anything I did was good.
Welcome to Transition Radio, live from Wilton Manors, Florida, with your host, Mark Angelo Cummings.
And your hostess, Jessica Lane Cummings.
Show for trans folks, by trans folks, here to let your voice be heard.
Well, good evening, beautiful people. Thank you for tuning in. Tuesday night, trans night, and oh my God, the weather all over the United States is crazy. We're so grateful to be in South Florida at the moment, although our stay here is not going to be much longer, 2 weeks, or less than 2 weeks, actually.
9 days, I think.
9 days, we hit the road, yes. Well, funny enough, tonight we had Michael Hatcher McLaren, but he canceled on us 15 minutes before the show time, and according to him, he had an emergency and couldn't call us any earlier. But the show must go on. The show always must go on, and there's always something to say. And you guys are always welcome to call in with any of your concerns, voices, because after all, this is a show to voice your opinion.
Yes.
Anyone in the LGBTQRA SUV community.
Yes, the major alphabet there. And we also hope that everything's okay.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
Yes. So.
Yeah, I hope that it's nothing serious. Anyway, if you want to call in, please feel free to call in. The number is 646-716-6895. But now we have something to say because we've got to thank the sponsor.
Yes, we do. So before we start, we want to
thank our sponsor.
Yes. Okay, hold on. Before we start, we want to thank our sponsor. TheBestFarmStore.com. They have everything you could possibly need for your cross-dressing and transgender needs.
And also an amazing doctor, Dr. Varden Mariosian. He's a facial feminization surgeon in Jupiter, Florida. Please give him a call today at 561-624-0900. Again, that's 561-624-0900. Dr. Mariosian is highly qualified and understanding of our needs.
Yes, he is.
Okay, so since we don't have a guest tonight, we are...
Like we were talking about in the beginning a little bit, that 9 days we are going to be on the road and starting our little docu-reality series called Transgender Highway.
It's an exciting thing all around. I mean, there's a lot of our friends that are very excited for us. Some are sad to see us go, but they know that we're following a dream. I mean, come on, how many people would just love to buy an RV and just hit the road, and where you land, nobody knows, type of thing. This is going to be a very spiritual matter for us.
Absolutely.
And we all sit in houses all day, okay? And as we sit in the houses, that we're created to keep us boxed in and not connected to nature, we forget that we're spiritual beings first, before all these external things that we look up to, whether it's our vanity, whether it's the technology, the materialistic things that we are taught to love so much, which, by the way, you can't take it with you when you go. So this whole journey is going to be amazing. We're going to meet as many people as we possibly can, Facebook friends and people out there in the LGBT community. in the United States, and of course, I don't think we'll be hitting every state, but we'll be hitting as many as we possibly can.
Yes, we will.
Go ahead.
And visiting as many people that want to meet us and everything like that and be a part of the whole docu-reality thing, showing that there's a lot more trans people out there
Yeah, definitely.
than most people care to think of.
And also, we're going to be doing our music and planning to play as many places as we can. We have a passion for our music, and not just because it's our music, but it's pretty good. I mean, our words, the sounds, and everything, it comes from our hearts.
It gives me we make beautiful music
Together, yes, it does.
And it has nothing to do sexually.
No, of course not. It's about love.
So we're breaking that stigma.
Yes.
Something beautiful music together.
Something that we're missing in this world plenty is love, and that's self-love. And that brings on the next topic on this amazing blog that we're a part of called Shame on You, Transgender Edition. And in this blog, we have several great bloggers. I mean, these ladies and actually I'm the only gent in the blog. So
yes,
these ladies and this gent have a lot to say, and they have a great way of expressing it. And although some people might consider what we're doing negative, it's actually shedding light on things that have been ignored and behaviors that people have that are not healthy in our eyes. I know everyone's entitled to their opinion. Our truth is not the only truth. We all have our truths.
You know what they say about opinions?
Yes, of course. But anyway, it's important to bring certain things to light. And a lot of us have been wearing veils on our eyes and not seeing the reality of things.
Or some of us don't have the guts to speak up about certain things that we see in the community.
Yeah.
And we have taken on a whole new term to basically be that voice.
Exactly.
And so that's where Mark and I come in on this thing, along with the other collaborators in the group.
Yes, definitely, which we're very thankful for. And it's amazing, we've gotten a lot of private emails because people are afraid to speak up. They're afraid of the trans mob. And you say something that is going to upset the trans mob, and they all jump down your throat. Well, we're not afraid of anybody, but we have received a lot of emails showing support, thanking us for what we do, and that it's about time that somebody spoke up. Now, we wanted to go over some of the blogs in the blog tonight since we don't have a guest. Tonight's blog that we're going to be speaking about is written by Michelle Spicer. And, instead we normally have a trans news, so this segment we're going to talk about some of the things that have been written on the blog, exposing, shedding light on individual situations in our community, in groups. And
elitists?
Yes, elitists. People that think that they're holier than thou because they have an inverted pee-pee or an external pee-pee that wasn't there before. Genitals can make a man or a woman. There is more than two genders in the world. It's a known fact. Our society, which is very square, very boxed in, very black or white, there's shades of gray in the world. In nature, outside of nature, and within each every one of us. Yeah. So we've got to step aside from these stereotypes and realize why we are here. But before we keep on...
Exactly. Let me just say one thing.
Yes.
You think that, look in the seahorse colony, the male actually gets pregnant and gives birth to the offspring. How ironic is that? But do you think that male feels any less than a male seahorse because he's given birth to a baby?
No. They don't even look at gender.
They don't even know what gender is.
Exactly. That's how it should be. That's why when Thomas, forgot his last name, but he was all over the news because he had a baby, and he is an FDM, so everybody was like, oh my God, it's like, people, we need to break down the stereotypes. We need to stop living in boxes. You're going to go into one the day you die, so while you're alive, stay out of it.
Exactly.
So anyway, tonight's Shame on You was written by Michelle Spicer, one of the bloggers on the Shame on You, the Transgender Edition blog. What is it with the transgender hierarchy, she writes? Why do we have it? Is there any real reason for it to exist besides driving wedges between transgender women and inhibiting our drives towards equality?
I recently had an encounter in which I was asked if I was detransitioning simply because I was wearing a pair of jeans. You have heard of the phrase, the clothes make the man or the woman, but in the case of transgender women, this seems to be true in spades. So here are some of my ideas about the transgender hierarchy and how we can break it down to bring us closer together as trans men and trans women.
We all have one thing in common, that we should be concentrating on instead or so justly deserve equality. So the next time you interact with a transgender person, keep some of these ideas in mind. Your surgical status does not determine whether or not you are a transgender person. Pre-op, post-op, non-op, or chiotomy only, top surgery or no top surgery. You are all transgender and part of our family.
Your hormone status does not determine your transgender status either. You can be on hormones, not on hormones, waiting for hormones, or never wanting hormones. You can still identify as a transgender person. The only person who can determine that status is you.
So shame on you, community, for trying to create a divide, making others feel less and more. To read more, please visit the blog at shameonyou2014.blogspot.com. If you have a story, a complaint, or just want to expose someone or something is bothering you in or out of our community, visit the blog, fill out a form, and shame away. If you're a blogger and are interested in participating, please visit the blog and fill out the form. Well, funny enough, I mean, we didn't read the entire article, but you're more than welcome to go there and read it. But we do want to read some really interesting comments.
Yes, and it seems like the HBS, also known as the Harry Benjamin syndrome, is running rampant in this situation.
You know, it's really funny. If you really look at what this whole concept of transgenderism has become, it has not been something that has been known, although we've been around forever, but probably 10, 15 years max. And all of a sudden, we've got all these commandos, we've got all these rules, regulations, word policing. Before, the word transsexual was a no-no, major no-no, because it had some sort of sexual connotation to it, connotation to it, or they just, I'm not changing my sex, I'm changing my gender. So then transgender was like the powerful word. Yeah, we're transgender. Now all of a sudden, no, transgender's not good.
Transgender's bad because everybody's fitting under the transgender umbrella.
Yeah, so we can't have this.
So we gotta be different. We gotta be separate. We are women.
I was never a boy.
Okay.
I was only a baby. Okay.
Anyway, so I'll read the first comment and then we'll proceed from there.
Okay.
The first comment, we won't mention names, but we'll read comments.
Well, the names are there, so they're gonna see them.
Well, it doesn't matter.
It's fair to say.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. So anyway, the first comment was, Michelle, I think your point is really well taken. The only time someone needs to know what's between my legs is on the way to bed. Also, as a cross-dresser, I feel particularly low on the totem pole, though I have dedicated a good part of my life to the trans cause. Nikki Alicia.
Yes. Now, I wanted to add a little something to that. You should never feel that you are any lower than anybody else. You're a cross-dresser.
We are all equal.
We're all equal. There is absolutely nothing wrong. And that's one of the things that really irks me and rubs me the wrong way about a lot of these transgender or transsexual women who actually believe that they don't want to be categorized in the same spot that a cross-dressers are.
So we've come up with a new thing called, an age-old term called gender variance.
Yeah, gender variance.
Because we are all in that spectrum of gender variance. We have always been one and transitioned to the other.
And this whole concept of transitioning, if you really look, being an outsider, if an alien was looking down on our race, they would think that we are a really strange pup.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would.
No, they wouldn't. Because aliens probably have both.
I'm talking about how people all of a sudden, it's like you're born with a hormonal imbalance because, newsflash, if you guys didn't realize the reason we are the way we are, something happened in our mother's womb where the hormones just didn't communicate correctly between the brain and our genital. And because of this, we have these either feelings of being, if you're born a female, you have a feeling of being more of a masculine nature. Let's not even say a man because gender it's just crazy. Okay, I know there's a man and a woman, and you all are probably saying, well, it's not crazy because there's a man and a woman, but we'll take our gender a little too serious. So these hormones create these adverse effects, and all of a sudden we think that because we have a little bit more androgen that we are actually, or we should actually be men. No, we are the third gender. We were born with this gift. I consider.
Wait, how come you're the third gender? Just because you're a man? You could be the fourth gender.
No, third
gender could be the third gender.
No, everyone's the third gender. Third, fourth grade, it doesn't matter. But to all of a sudden think that, okay, because I have this feeling, because you have either androgen sensitivity syndrome, you're intersex, Yeah, way too much androgen, not enough, something happened, a hiccup, your mom took too many aspirins while you were pregnant, who knows? Then all of a sudden we think that we could just magically change our gender. And no, that's not the way it goes. If you feel happy about doing that and you want to do that and it makes you feel great, then go ahead and do it. But don't be delusional to think that all of a sudden you can wave a magic wand, voila, I am now.
Or take a magic pill or an injection, and you're going to magically become the opposite sex. It doesn't work that way. Some will transition better than others, and, that's just the way it goes. But we're all under the same umbrella.
And we're angelic, and we're creator gods. We're just creating. We're just, amazing artists. They're doing these wonderful things.
I say it like this. My mother created the boy that everybody used to see. I created the woman that everybody now sees.
Exactly. But you still own up to the boy that your mother created.
Well, because you can't lose that knowledge.
Of course not.
Come on. Who would fix the rig if...
I know. It's not even a knowledge. It's not even about knowledge. Why would you want to do that? My God, how many people would feel, it's like having superpowers.
Exactly.
It's amazing. And that's one of the things that we feel that we're trying to put out there. It's not that we're judging anybody, but be proud of who you are. Why do you want to fit in a box and be like everybody else? And I know you've had a lot of heartaches in life and people have made fun of you and you're tired of getting made fun of, and maybe that makes you feel better to fit in. But realize why there's so many of us all of a sudden. There's no coincidences.
No, exactly. So the next comment.
Okay, the next comment is, I love this. You just called it out and unpacked the whole dirty little mess that swept under the carpet. Thank you, Michelle.
And another comment.
This is a doozy.
Yeah, you go ahead and read this one, and I'll read my comment back.
Okay. Sorry, but no. I've got to mention her name. She has a blog, and I'm sure you guys go here, you're going to read the comments anyway. Just Jennifer, who, by the way, does not have a picture of herself. She's got a what is it? A Simpsons cartoon character, so that shows how much proudness she has.
It's probably an HBS.
Right. Sorry, but no. I am a post-op transsexual. I am not transgender. I reject that term and the political stillness it represents. I changed my sex, not my gender. And it used to be the other way around.
I know, exactly.
We're bipolar people. One is transgender if and only if one identifies as such. Otherwise, it is meaningless term. Oh, we are such meaningless terms. Yeah. The hierarchy is meaningless because transgender is meaningless. No, Jennifer, you're meaningless.
Another Harry Benjamin syndrome elitism, obviously.
Yes.
And probably dresses part-time.
Yeah.
But, either way, let's go with what my comment was. I said, does a word hold that much meaning? You were born a boy with male genitalia, and you lived a portion of your life as a boy, and you then underwent extensive body modification surgical procedures to become a girl. The gender binary in society claims there are two genders, male and female. But on the contrary, there are many genders in the binary, but only two are recognized. So that being said, you are transgender unless you underwent some kind of amazing surgery to modify an action, which is sex. Transsexual or transgender holds the same meaning. Use your own mind, be strong, and stop being a follower following the delusional idiots in the community. Jenny, be a leader and stand proud and live your life with pride in being who you are. Now, my comment was way nicer than what Mark's was.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to read mine because maybe I should.
Kind of went off on it, but that's okay.
Yeah, because I'm sick of this. I'm sick of people, just attacking, and whenever one tries to speak their mind, they just want to go down their throat. What?
Exactly. This is the same kind of person that is those type of people that cause teenagers to take their own lives because those teenagers are transgender, but here, because they haven't had surgery or been on hormones, they're not trans enough. Exactly. And this is what we discuss and fight about all the time against everybody, these elitists, that sit there and try to claim that somebody's not trans enough, because we are all trans enough.
Right, and that's what we are. We are trans. Delusion is to believe otherwise. And again, guys, you can believe what you want. It's your life, it's your brain, whatever. But we have to really look deep and remove the blinders. Anyway, let me read what I wrote, Jennifer. Jennifer, if it walks like a duck and looks like a duck, then it must be a duck. You can slice and dice, invert, and create a pocket. Disguise yourself all that you want. But, sweetie, you are a transgender person. As I am transgender, and all of us delusional human beings who have been programmed to believe we are otherwise. You walk the portion of your life with a dangling dong. Just because you paid a doctor to slice it in the middle, invert it, and then name it a vagina, you can never erase who you are. I'm sorry to bust your bubble, but as a transgender man who has walked 12 years in his new identity, I'm not delusional enough to believe that I am a man. Transgender is not meaningless. It is who you are and will always be. You can run, but you cannot hide. Say all you want, scream from the top of your lungs, but you don't fool anyone. Now, if you feel the need to think you are a woman and that gives you peace, then by all means, wish away. But you are only hurting yourself in the long run. You are not a mistake from the word go. We are here to show the world a true meaning of duality and to think you can't kill, and to think that you can kill who you were is only an act of delusion.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And then, ironically, Anonymous, which probably her going and commenting anonymously, I agree with you, Jennifer.
I don't think so.
No, because there's another one in there that I saw that said something about Jennifer is transsexual and not transgender. So one of two things, she either had a friend that doesn't have the guts, either from her little elite squad, come in there and post a comment, or
okay. Let's go to another blog because I don't want to keep reading any more of her.
Leah's rant.
Yeah, Leah's rant, and it's a shame because there's not everyone's going to be able to have surgery. Not everyone's going to be able to go on hormones, but they want to express themselves, and everyone should be able to express themselves.
Hence, the place on the spectrum called genderqueer.
Exactly.
A whole another ballgame.
So that brings us to another blog which I wrote, and it's entitled "The Exodus of Transitioning." Now, back in the day, when I transitioned in 2003, YouTube wasn't around yet. There was barely a couple of websites. One of them was Jameson Green, and Jameson Knight was another one I found. And as I searched, very little information was available, especially regarding FTMs. There's a little bit more about male to female transgender, but not extensive. So my blog writes or reads, I wonder what people did prior to this influx of transitioning, MTFs and FTMs. We all led our lives oblivious of the so-called new infliction we call gender dysphoria. If we were born female body, most lived as lesbian, some more masculine than others, or you were a masculine identified female, but your sexual preference was being straight. On the other side of the coin, if you were born male and were born male body and were feminine, you identify as gay, bi, or cross-dressed, or simply felt in touch with your feminine side and liked women. Yet we survived. In fact, many were very happy with this life they knew. Then all of a sudden, YouTube came along, and the power of suggestion, bam! We all want to transition. We all feel that life is not worth living all of a sudden. And who do we have to blame for this?
The power of suggestion. And the power of suggestion is something that can create a major movement. It is used by the media, politicians, and religion. I believe that we are a project, an experiment led by excessive chemicals and now the power of suggestion. Call me crazy, but when you hear as many stories as I have, and they all sound the same, you begin to wonder. We all knew at the age of 3. Yeah, okay, I have said this too, but I read it somewhere, so I therefore repeat it. At age 3, we go through a stage of exploration. Little boys wear their mommy heels, play dress up, and put on makeup. Little girls engage in their rough and tough behavior. Hated boys and like to wear boys' clothing.
Chemicals are responsible for changing our brain chemistry, and in this chemical-filled world we live in, I'm surprised we're not all growing a tail. So, okay, I know I'm going to get an earful for writing this blog, but if you can honestly say that prior to you knowing about being transgender or gender dysphoria, you wanted to die, you hated life, or any of those negative feelings towards life as we hear it now, and if you say yes, even though I know it's no, then you really need to reflect.
Gender is only a small part of our life. We are spirits having a human experience. But since social media has hit our world, we all tend to do what we see or feel what others feel. It is programming, and boy does it work. Go through YouTube and see how many transition videos there are. At this rate, we will all be swapping gender. Who knows? Maybe the universe needs a change.
Or a good laugh.
So shame on you, YouTube. Shame on you, gender specialists, who now have created a niche for making money off a group of individuals who need confirmation and a letter to transition, and are not looking at the underlying issues that most people really have.
One final note. We are all entitled to do what we feel is right for our lives. So if transitioning is what you really feel is what you need to do, then do it. But I hope that you're doing it for all the right reasons and not because it has become the thing to do. Reflect and look within. Don't live your life in hatred of who you are or live with tunnel vision of what you think you need to do or else. Unconditional love is an important factor for happiness, and living life for tomorrow instead of living in the now can create lots of unhappiness in the end. I have a question for you all. Why are so many people transitioning? Has this thought ever crossed your minds? A word of advice, check out how many people detransition before you take the plunge. Here's an interesting blog with lots of information. You'll have to go into the blog because I don't have the actual website. I have it, imprinted into the blog, so when they hit it, it takes them directly to
it's a hyperlink.
Yeah, it's a hyperlink.
At the bottom there, before the picture, and it'll say detransition. So take a look at that. It's very interesting, actually, because, detransition is basically it's kind of a means of
30% of the people
admitting in a way that you made a mistake.
Yeah.
So it's something that you really need to be sure about before you decide to ingest that first dose of HRT.
Yes, and it's not the in thing to do, people, and it really takes a lot of thought process, and you really have to become aware of who you truly are, that you're doing this because you want to feel comfortable. You want to kind of align yourself. But think back in native times where they didn't have hormones, they didn't have surgery. People still express themselves as they saw wish. And let's share it. Go ahead.
Exactly. And I don't want to,
anyway, I want to share this video from Blackcroft Production.
Okay, now I remember. The article also in no way states anything saying that, you may not have had these feelings as being a little girl or a little boy at an early age, because that is true. You may have had those feelings. You may have carried it through your whole entire life. But, the thing is, we learn to deal with our hardships until the power of suggestion came out and, really made us want that. How did you explain it?
Well, because of
that immediate, that immediate, joy from something you do. What was it?
Instant gratification.
Instant gratification.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was looking for.
Well, if you think
we all want instant gratification.
When you're a little kid and you're 3 years old, we only know the words women and man because of what we see. But a young boy who acts very feminine and feels more in tune with his feminine side doesn't necessarily mean that he feels like a woman. I mean, it's remember that the gender center is controlled by hormones, and that's why you see a lot of very feminine gay men, okay? And that's why we see a lot of really masculine women, even though they're not even gay. There's a lot of really masculine females, But anyway, check out the BuzzFeed of this 23-year-old woman who grows a beard. She says she feels more feminine than ever. She has polycystic ovarian syndrome, and from the age 11 started growing facial hair, and now you actually look at a picture of her. She's got a full beard. She's actually got body hair all over.
Yeah.
She's accepted who she is. She's not all of a sudden saying, well, I must be a man, so I'm going to have sex because I'm in surgery.
Exactly.
No, instead, she's embracing who she is. She's allowing the beard to grow because of her religion. They believe that they shouldn't alter anything. So if something's growing, let it grow.
Exactly.
So
that may be for the segment on the TV show for Thursday.
No, we have something else for Thursday lined up. Okay. So bottom line, what we're trying to do here is make everyone realize that you're not a mistake. I know that there's a lot of pain as we grow up as individuals, whether you're gay, you're lesbian, you're bi, or you're transgender, whether you're white, black, Hispanic, purple, green, we all suffer in different ways.
Right, exactly. And aren't you really tired of having to already live your life to make society comfortable around whatever. Be comfortable for you. Stop worrying about trying to be comfortable to make you be comfortable. Stop trying to worry about society being comfortable.
Well, what I'm going to say about that is I am being comfortable because I am a woman, and it's like all your life you were ridiculed because you were a feminine boy. All your life you were ridiculed because you were a boy attracted to boys. So you wanted to fit in, and you wanted to feel that if you make yourself the societal norm gender that you feel you are, that people are going to love you and accept you. And if that was your reason, hey, that's your reason. But really reflect, really go deep within you, and realize why there are so many of us in the world. Do you think that the universe makes so many mistakes? I believe we're here for a reason, a great reason, and we need to own up to our power. We need to own up to who we are. You could identify however you want. I'm not saying don't, but put things in perspective and realize why you're here. Don't just go from one box to another box.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
The show is done. I can't believe we've actually 30 minutes went flying.
I know.
Without a guest.
Well, with you, Babbles.
Well, hey. Try to make the 30 minutes go by. Well, anyway, thank you to our sponsor, the Breast Form Store and Dr. Mavridosian. And thank you for our listeners. Thursday, we have an amazing guest on our show. She is a fantastic musician, Tara Lane. She's not any of the LGBT letters. She's actually an ally and a wonderful musician.
She is part of the LGBT alphabet.
Yeah, yes, the A.
Yeah.
Yes. But anyway, looking forward to having her on the show. She's a beautiful human being with such great talent. Great musician. Yeah, she's got powerhouse of talent, a voice in her that will rock your world.
Taylor Swift and Carrie Underwood, look out.
That's right. Well, thank you guys once again for joining in, and for all you haters that have been hating on us, we love you, babies. Not to worry. You're always in our heart and in our prayers. And
we advocate for you no matter how much you hate us.
But you know what?
We love you, and remember to always love yourselves, too. Good night. Mwah.